Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own. Let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. The what dog can want and EJ can want the Risham want the what dog can want and EJ can want the Risham want. This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own, let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. The what dog can want and EJ can want the Risham want the what dog can want and EJ can want the Risham want. This is our own.
So just as the fixture has distinguished itself inadvertently from the lot, just be careful not to lower the bar or tear the index when these two powerhouses lock horns. Get your groove on because the nation's capital is about to erupt as the Porcupines are coming to down south to play their fiercest rivals with all their horns and their quails in that swashbuckling and pompous atmosphere. But will the many that take shade under that manly oak tree fret or be disdained? There's a lot to talk about. But conversations around these clashes have far moved away from form guide, and so we're asking, is it that those who are boasting of skyrocketing performances and the others are also trying so hard to be resilient and to keep sail? Accra Hearts of Folk will host current league leaders Kumasi Asante Kotoko in all grandeur as we wrap up the first round of the ongoing 2021-2022 Ghana Premier League season. And the question remains, who will reserve that bragging rights? Can the Quails slit through the steely oak tree to see if they can make a bed of roses? And will it just go beyond that 90 minutes, or there's more to talk about? Well, if you have not heard any of the other stories, you are the right place at the right time on GTV Sports Plus on The Beautiful Game with me, Abigail Senaso. So we'll take a look at what really happened in the last 17 games. Let's take it up in a moment.
Premier League for the season 2021-2022. Is it the champions? Hearts of Oak against Legon Cities.
Playing as a winger to the alongside the Fuako on the other side.
Former Whistles and Kotoko and Accra Lions underway here at the Babayara.
There is Jemfi, good play to skip past the Wafa defender. It is still Jemfi.
Hafiz Adams, that is brilliant. Great goal from Hafiz Adams.
Foot, his left foot is just hit the ball so hard into the bottom corner. Goalkeeper can't reach it. That is a really good skill for the second touch. Lovely goal all over.
Barnier from the boots of Nibote, and it is brilliant play from Salif Ibrahim, but you want to credit that amazing clearance.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Legon Cities. Take a look at this. It's just a ding team. Gofikoji, no offside here. His first touch not good enough, but gets his composure. Goalkeeper goes down too easily. He's looking for the dink over.
Yes, he's been waiting for long, and that's the equalizer. Elmina Sharks are back in it. Edukau, who's parity?
And the whip of the ball into the box is brilliant. The goalkeeper can't come out and claim it. All he's going to be doing is be hoping that his defenders do him a favor, but the marking is poor. Nobody keeping an eye on him, and Edukau rose well and glanced that ball into the side of the net, and the goalkeeper can't find an answer, but the whip on the ball is good, and the quality of the header is brilliant.
Caleb Amankwa goes in with a challenge on Victor Edu. Referee whistles, he reaches his pocket.
And if the referee thinks this is a foul, then it's going to be a sending off really, because the last man, Fatau, is out of the picture. Aston referee on the far side and has settled on the yellow card, which then would mean that it's the second yellow card. It is a sending off.
Sends a lovely ball looking for Jonah Tukwe. Goes past Denchi. It is Jonah Tukwe. And good save from Richard Atta.
After the situation we're talking about, that Kotoko is the one who is the danger man. The one time that he isolates Daichi, look at what he does to him. But I'm expecting that to be on the bounce to go for the far post. Because Richard Atta has the near post cover, that's the goalkeeper shoot. But once the shot comes, he does well to apply this.
The best of clearances from Samuel Atta. Now here is Lamte trying to look back for Etuga. Nearly beat goalkeeper Isam. Is the first corner of the afternoon to Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Brilliant hits. Lovely combination between him and Lamte, who's setting up nicely. He just waiting for the ball to drop. Ball drops well for him, but the way he got his knee over the ball to control the effort is brilliant. The ball just took a difficult bounce right before he...
Salif Ibrahim to Daniel Efria Bania. Lovely. Bania, I thought it wasn't the best option. He should have laid on a pass. Decided to go for glory, and it's superb.
Ibrahim again finds Bania, checks back, takes the two defenders out of the game. Isaac Mensah is begging for the ball. Maybe just maybe Bania realizes that Nijashi Bote is closing down. Isaac Mensah decides to go for goal. He picks his head up to be fair to him.
Here comes Etuga. Good fight. That's the first goal.
Kick. But it all started from Kotoko's quick corner kick on a shot. But look at him, he's always looking for the ball on the edge of the box. It's Etuga. Ball broke kindly for him. Just took the ball around the defender and there, striking the ball with some real power. But that is poor goalkeeping. He should be making a save on the near post. But I think nothing away from Etuga. He's in the box, he's calm, he's sharp, he's quick, and he's slotting it low and hard.
Abin Junior's cross. It's a header from Bania, and it's the open goal from Kofi Koji. And the Forbians have taken the lead here in Cape Coast. Daniel Efria Bania, can he take the second? And he makes it two. 3 whistles. Mustafa steps forward, and Danlad saves. Retaken because Danlad stepped off his line. But the reaction from Danlad.
But we'll see if Danlad stepped off the line, did he? Yeah, I think he did. I think Danlad just stepped off the line before he was kicked. That's time referee is right. Spot on from him. It's a good call from him.
Referee Abdullahi whistles. Etuga steps forward. Here comes Etuga, and Etuga misses. Etuga has missed. Isam the hero.
Wow. It's just not happening for Kotoko. Nothing is going their way today. But credit to Isam, what a brilliant stop.
Given so much space and time, picks out Emmanuel Jemfi. Can he get a third goal? Jemfi gets the third. And Adriana Stars.
I think the goal is a clean one. Jemfi does all the right things. Just takes the ball a little bit over the goalkeeper. When Osebuzu can't catch it, and Jemfi has an empty net to do whatever.
Free whistles.
Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own. Let's cherish our own.
So clearly that was some beautiful moments we got from the first round of the ongoing season. I don't know if you saw your club in there doing the wonders or being defeated, but there's another round to talk about. That will be later. But this weekend, the stage has been set, I don't know, unintentionally for Kotoko and Hearts to see what will get off the first round. And my studio is beautifully decorated because I have the NCC PRO here with me for Heart to Poke, and Ajua Opoku of Ajua TV, who keeps ranting about Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and it's trying to pump into my head that it's a done deal on Sunday. Is also here with me. So we got to talk more about the first round and that fixture at the Accra Sports Stadium. By all those conversations around capacity, man on the day, that is the center referee, the kind of game you are supposed to look forward to. So we get to talk more. And Kobe, thank you very much for joining me.
It was a pleasure.
It's been a long time.
Yes, of course. And I think I'm the most luckiest person because I have 2 beautiful ladies around me. So.
But Adjoa, I'll come to you shortly. But it brings us to the Ghana Premier League this season. Yeah. Let's talk generally about the first one before we come to that one later this weekend. How has it been for you?
I think it's been very competitive. I mean, certain teams that were hitherto we knew start well. They didn't start well. The likes of Adriana Stars, Medium ISC. I think it was only Asante Kotoko who started flying from day one. And King Faisal also, there was a flash, and I think I will not say it's a flash in the pan, but they are still not doing that. It's not been that consistent. So, but of course, it's been an interesting league, I must say. I mean, the clubs are putting in their best, officiating not that terrible. I mean, it's the midway half of the season, so we can pick it that way. But I think that. What we've seen so far, it's encouraging. We are hoping that the euphoria and those things will build up in the second round, and we'll see different league altogether. But to be honest with you, I mean, compare this season to last season. Last season started the same way. House of Oak didn't start well, but later we built up in the second half. This season has started the same way. But this season, I think our problem stemmed from the Africa we played. That affected
that distraction.
Yes, as House of Oak.
Okay.
And Kotoko, because they didn't have anything to focus on, they started very well, and it's been good. And I think that it's now that the heat and everything is building, and we see everything. But if you look at the first round, if you look at the positions of the club, even Mediama didn't start well, Gianna, who didn't even start well, they've done well, and I think it's encouraging.
Okay. Adjoa, you are all smiles, but quickly tell me how the first round has been for you before we zoom to that fixture for this weekend.
Thank you very much, and a very good evening. The first round has been awesome. All teams, you see that they are well prepared. No time for. It's like they know the Kotoko and Hearts are there, so they are not going to stay back and watch them go. So, as he said, the likes of Adriana, Bechem. Look at where Bechem is now. We are writing Kotoko. All we are thinking of is House of Oak. All they are thinking of is Kotoko. But because Bechem behind the Adriana, although they are really pulling very well. So it's been awesome. And comparing it to last season, officiating. Last season we heard what happened. The referees beating stuff. This season has been calm. So I think this season has been great.
Okay, talking about being great, we hope that it continues like that. But let's remind ourselves that the fixture that is coming on Sunday is that outstanding game in match week 7, and so we still have some results for match day 17, and we'll quickly go through that one. That began on Friday with our beautiful game match of the week. Bekum Chelsea and Bechem United shared spoils in that fixture, and then on Saturday, Asante Kotoko beat Accra Lions 3-1, and then on Sunday, Tamale United held Accra Hearts of Oak at the fully packed and beautifully decorated Aliyu Mahama Sports Stadium. And then Adriana Stars also beat 11 Wonders 3-0 to complete the first round on a very high note. BBN Gold Stars made that announcement after those signings they did and shared spoils with Ashanti Gold at their home in Linkley. And so Red Olympics held Elmina Sharks at the Accra Sports Stadium to a 1-0 victory. And West Africa Football Academy at their very own Red Bull Arena were beaten by Karila United. And then on Monday, Mediama had to play Dreams because their game was rained off on Sunday. So in the early hours of Monday, Valentine's Day, Dreams FC beat Mediama FC 1-0, a ground they have never gotten even a point from. So that was also on the high. And Legon Cities at their newfound home and haven at the Airwalk Sports Stadium beat King Faisal 1-0. I don't know if you have anything to say about the
You see the results. I'm looking at Mediama and Dreams. Mostly, you see when you prepare matches for Sunday. And because of maybe force match, you need to reschedule and play the next day. It affects the team, the preparation, the psyche, and everything. And maybe that worked for Dreams FC because when they travel to, so
they were well rested to Tapa,
to play Mediama. Mediama at home. Number one, they are playing during the weekends, a lot of things go into it. Monday, certainly you don't get the same support and the same thing that you're looking for. I think that was a good result for Dream, but you can't take anything away from Dreams FC. This season they'll be playing a very good football.
Fantastic football.
I mean, they are one of the teams that we should look at. And you see, they are challenging certain results, though they at times do lose at the UPAC, but when they go out, they get good results because I think this season they've won more away points. I can talk. I think that is good for Dreams. And I was also looking at the Sule Muntari effect
at the Aliyu
Mahama Stadium. I think it was a game we should have won.
I don't get you when you say Sule Muntari effect.
Of course, because he brought all the people to the stadium. It was almost full.
Abigail, the new clubs that have joined the Premier League, they've been awesome. I forgot to talk about that. BBN, when Kotoko went to BBN, you saw the crowd. Yeah. So tell me, who brought the crowd? Let's say that.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Anybody. Who went to Aliyu Mahama Stadium and what the ball will tell you about the Sule effect?
Because the banners all over, like a homecoming.
They see him, of course, and they were overwhelmed to see him playing for us.
Well, I can also tell you when Kotoko goes to Tamale, you see the crowd.
You see?
Oh yes.
No, you see. So wait till Kotoko goes.
No, the way you say Sule effect.
No, but of course,
it's like without Sule, they wouldn't have the crowd here. But I can assure you, Tamale, BB, and all those places, you see that the crowd has been massive. Massive. I don't say because of a player. That's why. No.
I ask Star Times that their virtual viewership, the numbers they got when the people.
Okay, so this is the very game we are talking about when Hearts of Oak visited Tamale to play RTU. I'm sure we'll get to see the stands very soon. Yeah. What I want is the banners. You see the banners all over. So I don't know if it's fair to agree with Kobe.
No, but you see. I wanted to know that it's not only about those if you went to the stadium. If you check the eyeballs. Go and ask Star Times.
Tamale has been down for so long. They've been able to come to the Premier. I'm also turning through this angle that
but
it's a long time they've come to the Premier League. And now that they are with the Premier League, that's why the people are coming all over. So it's not like because of one person they came. Check out the BNE. The stadium was full up.
Okay, even with that, if you are saying that those the newcomers, because maybe
they've been away
for a long time, of course, and they want to see how people will come. That is something that I can agree with. But what about the eyeballs that the numbers recorded on Star Times? I mean, they're out.
And quite frankly, a lot of people didn't even think he was going to start this game.
Yeah, because we're hearing that
everybody wants
to folks
when people saw the lineup, then they wanted to know how.
And seriously, he's doing well.
And the other thing, you just raised was the fact that a big player would travel outside Accra to go and play at another stadium. That brought the conversation around Sule. And so just maybe, but as it all ended goalless at the Aliyu Mahama Stadium.
Sule effect
we'll come there very soon.
Kotoko has its own crowd, so I'm not talking about.
Okay, but then let's see how we're able to put together some statistics after week 17 of the ongoing season. And so, first of all, note that Bekum Chelsea becomes the first club to score a goal against Bechem United after they've played 7 consecutive games without conceding a goal in the league. Those two always have something to share. And Bechem United have gone 10 games without a loss in the first round. And the same Bechem United shortstopper, Abdullahi Idrissu's clean sheet record came to an end after he conceded in that game in week 17. And Emmanuel Ano of Bechem United has scored in the last 2 games for his side. No wonder he removed his jersey and got that needless yellow card. So Dreams FC ends Midiama FC's home unbeaten record after winning a goal to nil, like we were saying earlier. And Asante Kotoko striker Frank Etoga Mbella scored a hat-trick against Accra Lions, making it his second hat-trick in the first round. So he scored a hat-trick in January and has scored a hat-trick again in February. Just maybe his goal scoring is done for February. West Africa Football Academy, their defender John Tedeku's own goal against Karela becomes the 4th own goal of the first round. And the same Karela United are unbeaten in their last 7 Premier League games, and they've managed to win 4 and drawn 3 out of that 7. Caleb Amanko of Hearts of Oak was sent off in their game against Royal Tamale United. It's the 18th red card of the season. And Bright J of Aduana also scored a hat-trick in 60 minutes against 11 Wonders. And he scored on the 10th, 21st and 25th minute. And Jonah Atukwe has found his scoring boot, and he scored in the last 3 games for Legon City since joining from injury. And so we did a total of 17 games, had 11 home goals, 6 away goals, and 9 first half goals, 7 second half goals. And the stats for the first round so far is 152 games. We just have 1 more. having a total of 303 goals with 18 red cards and 4 own goals. Ajua, this is the stats after the first round, especially with the goals. 303 after 17 games. Quite impressive.
It's been lovely. You could see that our Premier League, it's on the increase. Yeah. And yeah, bring back the love. We are seeing the love in all this. And fantastic goals from... I heard you mention hat-trick.
Yeah,
who did you say scored hat-trick?
Mbella has to
Mbella, he plays for Kotoko. Yeah. He's such a great player. And the guy, I can't just wait for Sunday. You know, hat-trick. And I know...
Is he coming to score hat-trick on Sunday?
Oh, yes.
Okay, someone said his hat-trick for February is done. But we took the conversation away from us here in the studios. We talked to some of my colleague journalists who have been a part of the first round, and their assessment from the preview, the review, and the games that they have witnessed. Let's take a listen to some of my colleagues who thought the first round, I should say, was equally phenomenal.
My description of the first round of the season would be inconsistency. A lot of the teams in the Ghana Premier League this season, the first round, have been very inconsistent with performances and results. It is why the most consistent team is the team at the top. When you see Kotoko play, they've kept a certain level of consistency about them, but there was a point where Kefesa were right up there, but they lost 4 games in a row. They dropped. Aduana Stars the same. They had a good spell. They lost a couple of games. They dropped. Olympics had a spell of theirs, they dropped as well. Then Midiama picked up some spell. So none of the teams in the Ghana Premier League has really been able to put consistent performance together over a stretch of 5 games. The only team that has been able to do that, or 2 teams that have been able to do that, is Kotoko and Bechem United. That is why the table reads as it reads. A credit to Kotoko and Prosper Nati Ogun for what they've done. Last season, for most of the signings that came through the door, none of them could really settle in. Latif Alabina couldn't settle in. Sosaka couldn't settle in. Kayake couldn't settle in. All of these players struggled, and Kumi, when he came through to replace Kwame Poku, just couldn't settle in well. But this season, for all the players who have come through the door, most of them who have come through the door, they seem to have been able to settle in really well. Isaac Open had an incredible start. Sorry to him for the injury. You've seen players like Lamte come through the midfield, has been superb. Buedu has been superb. Mohamed Sharif has been superb for them. The young chap on the left right back has been brilliant. Etuga and Mfege have all been brilliant for Kotoko because they've settled well and they've played as they've been consistent with performances and results, and that's why they are where they are. So if you ask me what I think of the first round of the season, I think it's in a season of inconsistency for most of the teams in the league.
Interesting first round. I would say this is one of the best seasons we've had in terms of first round performance. Frank Etuga Mbella, Cameroonian international, leading the top scorer with 11 goals. He just needs to score against Hartlepool on Sunday to make a record for himself, and that is a good one from the striker. And you look at the entire season, Kotoko doing very well. Last season, you compare points accumulated in the first round, you could clearly tell that there's vast difference. We had 28 points as at last season after first round, which is Karela United were on top. But then this season we have Kotoko with 36 points. It should tell you that this time around the points gap, points accumulated in the first round is very high, and that is what is making the league very interesting. You look at the top 4, you have Kotoko, Bechem United, we have Great Olympics, and we have Aduana Stars. Olympics has not been consistent, Aduana have not been consistent. Bechem United, their last 10 games are yet to lose a game. And you look at Kotoko's form, winning home and away. For me, I think in the first round we've had the best in terms of goal scoring, assists. We have a total number of goals accumulated, home wins and away wins and all that. So for me, I think we've had the best so far in the GPL.
The first round of the Ghana Premier League has been wonderful. I mean, it's been very interesting. I mean, we have some good games. We've seen some great talent. Talking about Isaac Opon of Asante Kotoko. I mean, that first game he played against Dreams FC, he was fantastic. That was the one of the Ghana Premier League. We saw Abdul Fattah Isahako, who is now no more with Dreams FC, but he started the league very well, playing very well. And you can talk about the 2 Cameroonians that have joined Asante Kotoko, George Efege and then Frank Thierry Mbella Tuga. These guys have been good, and it's been a very long time we've seen such a striker in the Ghana Premier League. I mean, after 16 games already, he had 11 goals. I mean, that's phenomenal. It's incredible. He's done very well. Umar Bashiru of Kerala Football Club, he's been also fantastic. You have Salim Adams of Hartlepool and a couple of other players around. David Abagna-Sagna of RTU. The league have been very good, with the exception of one or two things that haven't gone well. We can talk about the officiating. We need to improve officiating a notch higher. And then the pitch, some of the pitches that, matches have been playing on. It's not good for the players. You could pick an injury when the pitch is not that good, and it's one way or the other destabilizes the formation that the coach wants to play. It's also an example. The name of the pitch is Golden City, but there's nothing golden about that pitch. You have to do a lot of things about that. So in all, I would say it's been very good. Last season, after the first round, the league leaders that was Kerala. They were around 29 points. Now we have Asante Kotoko that have more than 30 points after the first round. They have even a game in hand against Hartlepool this Sunday. So it's been good.
After 17 round of games, what else can we ask for? There's more room for improvement, but looking at the statistics, looking at the performance of players, the goals we've seen and all that, what I can say is that it's been a wonderful first round. Where Kotoko started from, they are the league leaders now. People want us to say that they are runaway league champions. Well, there's a second round to be played, but the recruitment they did, and people not giving them that chance to be on top of the table now because they're second division players, they were players we didn't know, Tuga, from Cameroon, together with his counterpart from Cameroon, they are doing so well, combined together for like 15 goals, and it's wonderful. Hartlepool were defending champions. No, they are the defending champions. Where they are now is not where people expected them to be, but looking at the recruitment they did, some of the players they lost, some decisions they've done that has cost them. But hey, this is Hartlepool. We wait to see what happens in the second round. Bechem United has also done so well. Bechem, looking at their position on the table, I would say kudos to them. Dreams FC did so well. They were getting some results, and their coach was sacked. They were doing well at home. 1 or 2 losses here and there. Certain coaches also have lost their jobs, but it doesn't take away the fact that I've enjoyed every bit of the first round. Our only problem has been the quality of pitches. It makes coverage very poor. Some of the pitches, no better thing to talk about that. Go to Dreams. Sometimes go to Tamale. I think the club licensing did a good job, but afterwards, how did our clubs take care of the pitches? That has been our problem. It adds some kind of beauty to the game. So pitches have been poor. Certain bad decisions on the part of referees here and there. Kotoko have complained before. Certain clubs have complained before, but I know the appropriate authorities will deal with that. So I'm hoping for a better second round, more room for improvement. The likes of Salif Ibrahim is injured. When it comes to assist, he's done so well. When you go to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, there was a player called Fabio Gama, who everybody was all over him last season. This season, injuries haven't been fair to him. But this season, Kotoko seems to have depth in squad. And so it is helping them so well. No wonder they're on top of the table. Let's see how Hartlepool respond in the second round. More room for improvement. It's been a wonderful first round.
This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again.
Thank you for staying with us here on GTV Sports Plus, and this is the beautiful game where we give you the best preview and review of our Ghana Premier League and the Women's League as well. But just gone by, were colleagues who have shared in that joy in the first round, and the underlining word is that it has been competitive on every other side. And so let's quickly see how your club is standing after match day 17 with Kotoko and has the game to spare. They are still on top with 36 points, and surprisingly, Bechem United keep the chase. Second on 30 points. Great Olympics are third on 28 points. Aduana Stars are fourth on 27 points. King Faisal are fifth on 26 points. Mediama FC are 6th, also on 26 points. Karela United comes 7th with 25 points. Accra Hearts of Oak lie 8th with a game to spare with 24 points. And Dreams FC follow their big brothers on 9th position with 23 points. This is the other side of the table where Bekum Chelsea has displaced Ash Gold as their perfect spot with 22 points. Ashgo moved to 11th on 22 points, and Legon Cities climbed to the 12th position with 21 points. Real Tamale United now lies 13th without David Abagna Sangdan on 20 points. Bibiani Gold Stars are 14th with 20 points. Accra Lions are 15th on 19 points. West Africa Football Academy are 16th on 18th points. 11 Wonders lie 17th on 16 points. Elmina Sharks, I don't think they can rise from this one, are 18th with just 11 points to show after 17 round of matches. We are about to have that big conversation. Is Accra Hearts of Oak against Kumasi Asante Kotoko? Let's remind ourselves before we zoom into that conversation.
Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. This is Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko. It is the Super Clash on a Super Sunday in the capital. There we go, game underway. It's at Imanonete. Beautiful searching pass, looking for Joseph Esso. Now here is Esso, chops it beautifully, sends the cross in. Kwame Bar, he was alert, but this header from Bamier nearly caught ball there to find Esso. Esso picked up a decent cross into the near post. A free gambled for it, but just couldn't get a clean contact to trouble the goalkeeper. This can be dangerous. It's a goal! Justice play! Kotoko up by 1 goal to 0. And I just mentioned it. Take a look at the movement. What a ball! What a ball that was! What a ball that was! And then it's 1-0. For Kumasi Asante Kotoko, brilliant header there by Justin Blake. Goalkeeper had absolutely no chance.
Here is Ibrahim, he's got space. Heavy first touch, manages to find Fatau down the right. He's got Asma, sends a deep cross in. Patrick Razak sent that across. Daniel Barnier shot is blocked by Taniu. Shouts for a penalty, but no.
Yeah, that's the earlier chance there. Once Salifu was bringing in the ball, Kotoko's defense kept backing off, and he had the opportunity of picking his captain. The cross to the far post this time is good.
Ball deep into Kotoko's territory. Joseph Esso! The Phobians have equalized. As the ball comes in there, nobody really dealing with it well. It's just a deflection, and it's an awkward deflection. They headed onto the crossbar by Esso on the rebound, headed it into an empty net in there. And the Phobians are leveled in Accra. Here is Matthew Enim Kujo. Oh, lovely skip from Enim Kujo. What a save from attack. Good save from goalkeeper Richard Attack. Koshi was going to separate him into the corner, but he beats him and picks out a delightful ball to Chafee, who heads it back across the face of goal. But Richard Arthur with an acrobatic save to keep the scoreline 1-1. But what about that for a skill? What about that for a header? And what about that for a save? Beautiful stuff here. Incredible. Good move. See it again, Nana. Yeah. So Matthew Kujo hits it. It was a feeble shot though. Then he say there's a penalty. He gets the block. He gets in the block, but outstretched. Referee whistles. Keita! It's a goal! Naby Keita has put Kotoko up Kumasi Asante Kotoko from winning this game. As Naby Keita confidently walked onto that ball. The run onto it was confident and it dispatched it beautifully. Goalkeeper Atta had absolutely no chance. And Kwame Ba is thanking his God.
Patrick Asma! Good save from goalkeeper Richard Attack.
They tried to stop the ball, but the ball broke. Actually, it did break. But it's a good effort from Asma there. The bend is good. It's getting over the top of the wall.
A very improved side in the second half. Again, a dink from Salifu looking for Barnier. That's the opener.
important he was for this side. But again, the chance of Foku are looking the better side. The little drink over the top from Salif Fittipaldi. It's not the first time we've seen it this season. Obi Junior's efforts is blocked well by Ganu. But the shot is a hope for one. No question marks about offside. But it's a really good finish. It's an incredible finish by Bani. It really is, because it's on the half turn. But still does what to generate enough power and puts a bit of spin about the effort. Kwame Barkan out to get a hand to it. That's a difficult one to keep out. Ofuka has been great running down the channels.
It's over! It's a Super Sunday and it's a Super Clash. The two glamorous sides in Ghana football. Accra Sabok and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. This is...
And so this is just to remind us, to remind us a little, because this Sunday is going to be something else. And center referee Rastun Gamelisonegbe, my countryman, there's a lot for you to do. But I tell you what, this is going to be your 20th Premier League game after 2018 when you were promoted. So you get it right, and this is where your career is about to blossom. Yeah. So I beg you, close your ears to everybody. We want a good game, and I believe that that's fair. But on, but on Sunday, let's talk about that big one. I just want to ask this question so that you box them all for me. The managers, the kind of players they have, what are we looking for? And then we end with officiating.
Yes, it's the biggest game. Of course, everybody is looking up to this game, and big players always,
play big games.
Look up. I mean, wish to play in this game.
Yeah.
I remember today I met Samuel Lincoln somewhere, and he was talking about his experience as far as he played Kotoko and House games.
Yeah.
And he was just remembering, when they were on form at that time, and House of Folk was not on form. I went to Kumasi, we scored, they equalized. That match ended 3-3. That was the Queen those times. Yeah. That was the game that everybody thought Kotoko dismantled our team, because at that time our team was not that strong, it was weak. And Kotoko was flying high. Okay. They won the FA Cup, I think the President Cup, they won President Cup, and they were playing well.
You mean they won FA and the President Cup?
They won President Cup, then the FA Cup was not there, but they were, they were on top of the league log and everything. So things were going on faster for them.
Okay.
But we made them in Kumasi, which became a different ball game altogether. I mean, I always say that Kotoko House matches are not my games, because it's about the character, it's about the temperament.
Yeah.
So if you have players who have that temperament and that character, that works in this game. I know a player like Justice Blay will want to, because he has played the game before. And he knows how it feels.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the recent Kotoko team, I think there are only 3 or so players. A lot of Ghanaian, Christopher Nate, these are not regular players of late. Okay,
so not to cut you, Kobe, but when it comes to big games like that, clearly there's someone to make you have that feel if you are not there. And undoubtedly, from where I sit, I will on any day say that he's one of my the best commentators when it comes to the Ghana Premier League and putting the game across. Nanada Kwajesi has joined me online, and maybe he can tell us what it feels like, what really goes into preparing for a super clash that he has commentated in the past years, well over a decade. Nana, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
It's good to hear from you.
It's good to be on a beautiful game as well.
Thank you. Nana, we are talking about that outstanding game that will come on Sunday at the Accra Sports Stadium, and I tell you what, we have enjoyed your commentary thus far. And so tell us, what really goes into having to prepare for a big day? I'm not sure it's like every normal game when you have to run commentary.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the compliment. We'll keep learning. First of all, good evening to your viewers, and I extend my regards to Ajwa, Kotoko, and then Kobe Jones of House of Oak. They are my good friends. Preparations for House and Kotoko is very much different from any other game. Basically because of the tension that comes with the game. I'm sure if you call footballers, if you call the coaches, if you call referees, because the security and even the managers of the facility the game is going to be played on, everybody will tell you the preparations are very much different from normal game. Because it's going to have to work the biggest game on the Ghanaian.
Unfortunately, we've lost touch with Nana Kwajesi, but I'm sure we'll get to him again just so he tells us what really goes into that game, like he was trying to expunge. And so, as we wait to hear from him, these are some of the scenes from... Okay, so Nana is back online. Nana, sorry for that breaking transmission. You can go on.
I was saying that whatever goes into every other Premier League game, you need to double up when it comes to games involving Accra. So for me as a commentator, I normally prepare for House of Kotoko games in like 6 or 7 days.
Okay.
I try as much as I can to get the very details about every single player registered at both clubs. Basically because anybody can have the opportunity to play. This excites the viewers. You need to let them understand what they are watching. You need to have first-hand information about everything that, you know, is transpiring in the field of play regarding the principal actors. But you also have to be mindful that you don't get carried away by the occasion, because there's that tendency, basically because it's a tension-packed game, it's a game that comes with a lot of emotions running through people, and so you need to be circumspect in your utterances. You need to be very much careful about the things you say, so that nobody is going to view you as a commentator siding with one club.
Okay. Nana, you have one commentary for both sides in the first round. I would want to put you on the spot. I don't know, but the two that present themselves on Sunday, who would you say have stood out for you?
Okay. On paper,
yeah.
It's a Kotoko. And the reason is very simple. On the league block, they are top 36 points. After all, have got how many points? 24 points. Kotoko only has like 12 points, right?
Yeah.
So on paper, Kotoko are favorites. But Hatsavok and Kotoko is anybody's game, regardless. Territorial advantage really doesn't play any role, because in the Champions League of 2 years ago, Kotoko beat Hatsavok in Accra. Last season, had beat Kotoko in Accra. So games involving the two is very much difficult to predict. But Kotoko's kind form has been mind-blowing. Kotoko has been in great form, but don't take anything away from Hatsavok. They never say die. They go what it takes to rise to the big occasions. And so for me, I think it's a dicey game. It's a tricky duel. It's an unpredictable fixture, and it's a game that can go anyway. But clearly, statistically, Kotoko looks favorite. Kotoko has got the leading top scorer in the Ghana Premier League. Between the two Cameroonians, they've got 15 goals. Kotoko has got 26 goals, and the two Cameroonians have scored 15 goals. Okay? Half the book's top scorer is Kofi Koji. The point is, why is he not starting games? I have this funny feeling that Kofi Koji is losing confidence because he's not starting games. And I know that he is the game changer for this Hatsavok side. So, on paper, Kotoko are favorites, but never take anything away from Hatsavok. You know, the games they've lost against Mediama, against Karela, against Ashko, and then, you know, they also lost another game, I think, against Ashko. All the games they've not played badly. So, I will say because they are 12 points on this of Kotoko, they are west side. I think they're going to take the right to the occasion.
Okay, Nana, thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure on Sunday we'll still come to you for the best in commentary.
Thank you very much, and the beautiful game is always a beautiful game. It's a good show. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that was arguably one of the best commentators we have had that has put our games on the pedestal as on another Kwajesi. And so even from his side, clearly, he has to prepare 6 days ahead of commentary. How much more the players?
Exactly. It's not easy. Much as you say, yes, these two teams, as my colleague said, you need to have the pace, you need to have the character. We didn't see Kotoko is at the top and Hatsavok is here, so this one must score, this one must score. But when you talk of Kotoko, the Infega and the Mbela, I would say they have the pace, they have the character, even though they've not played this before. But the way they go about things, you can see that they're not scared of anything. Like, they know how to, let me come low to our dialects. So on Sunday, I trust that these two guys, it would be all about them, seriously. Not to take away how to folk. Never say that is spirit. As for them, until the last minute.
Same thing people said last.
Until the last minute. That's what I'm saying. Not to take anything away from how to folk. Until the last minute, if you don't take it, they would score you. And Kotoko has it's a different ball game, from spirituality to everything. You don't underrate this.
Oh, okay.
So you are saying that lots of things goes into that.
Between them, not even sitting here, it's spiritual.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
How spiritual? Because I'm not in the spirit.
You see, she's trying to put all of us in the mood. But I just want you to know that, like you said, it's not a normal game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a game that comes with its own character.
In fact, it's a festival on its own.
Mbella playing Accra Lions, or playing Diana Stars, or playing.
These guys have played more than one or two games.
Listen. If you ask any player who has played Kotoko and Has, he will tell you, even entering the field, seeing the crowd, and the euphoria, that alone can affect your play.
Well, of course. Thank God this time is 25%, so it's not going to be anything.
But you see, so you should understand that this kind of matches cannot make you as a player.
Oh yeah.
You understand?
It's
so
the top.
If somebody says, oh, they are on top, they are playing well, I mean, you can say.
But probably someone will also say that maybe let's take the two top scorers of both sides. Kofi Koji has come clean with some 7 goals, but is missing in action for the last 4 games starting from the bench and all. And Etugo on the other side has rallied from behind to be the current goal king as it stands now. And so on paper, I want to go on another question. So it looks like they are having it right.
You see, that is what I'm saying, that when it comes to these two games, this game, for instance, I mean, the two teams, it's not about who is leading.
Yeah, you can't underrate any.
The time of the days of Eric Bequin, when he was leading goal king, when he came to Accra, he couldn't score.
Okay.
You understand? So it's not about who is leading the goal king chat. I mean, gone are the days where Ishmael will do the thing, because you know Ishmael will score Kotoko anytime. And Ishmael will win the goal king. I mean, he has that character for those matches.
But Kobe, here we are. Kotoko are bold enough to mention names. What is Accra presenting? Who are the players?
Okay, last season, when we beat them 1-0,
Barnier.
We were not bold enough to say Barnier will score, but Barnier scored.
Yeah.
When we've been going into the Madrid and stuff, they didn't even think of Barnier. But he scored them.
Yeah. So he was a great player.
No, I'm not saying that. But going into that game, you didn't see him as a great player until he scored you people. And you realize that the guy has a very good talent, and it's a player who can score at any time. You see, one thing we shouldn't forget is that it's about the character that I just spoke about.
Yeah.
It's about, how you approach the game, the lives of you. If go and watch the matches that somebody like this boy from the man, what's his name? Our number 13.
Your number 13.
I've forgotten him.
Okay.
How he has played, because you see, he understands
the game
in terms of these matches. Kofi Koji, yes, Koji has played. Kotoko has. He knows how it is. If you look at our team now, maybe you can talk of maybe Sule, who has not played against Kotoko before, or Asubontain, and I don't know. Those who are coming to start, Salim, but apart from them, almost all the players have a taste of this game, and they know what comes with it, and they know, that the zeal and the tenacity you should have to go into the game with.
So are you basing it on that because they've played it before?
No,
you would outrun Kotoko.
No, I'm not saying we will outrun you.
No, I've not
said that.
They've played it before, so the Mbega and the Mbega hasn't played before.
So of somebody like Blay, Ganu. For these,
maybe
Danlad
to some extent.
Maybe Danlad has not played Kotoko has league game before.
I don't think
the
so.
Only time
Kotoko's coach has built the team in a way, say. I'm
not talking about whether he has built the
so everybody about the experience.
I'm talking about the experience
that have this encounter.
Let me tell you something. Let me give you an example. When we played against Olympics, as soon as I walked to the stadium, I saw the lineup. I told them that this lineup is not a lineup to play Olympics because it's a local derby. You don't play with you play with players with character. I'm not disrespecting some of the players, but I realize they don't have that zeal, they don't have that tenacity against Olympics. Anytime we play Olympics, if we beat them, it should be the aggressiveness of the team.
Does that mean last season you didn't play with players that had the tenacity.
No, the last season, first round they beat us.
Yeah.
It was our own mistake.
Oh, come on.
Of course, but teams make mistakes all the time. You understand? And matches between House of Folk and Olympics are always uncompromised. I mean, it's like high Kotoko. So you need certain players for these matches. It's not. There are certain players. I remember last season when you brought Fabio Gama. Where was he?
Is he around?
Last season he was their star coming into the game.
But is he around?
He's still there.
Oh, Fabio Gama is around. Yeah, you know he was injured and now he's recovered.
So I'm trying to let you know that when it comes to these matches, it's not players with names. Okay. That's what I want you to know, because those who have even had names played in this match and they didn't excel.
Okay.
You understand? So it's about the aggressiveness and how you are playing. I mean, if you understand, when I spoke to someone, Lincoln was telling me that Kotoko has matches, he will concentrate for about 5 days. He will do everything extra.
Okay.
But I think it comes back to the coaches too.
That's hold that thought for me, Aja. But then talking about the expectations for this game, it goes beyond that. And my colleagues who shared their views earlier also had something to add on that super clash.
Game. It's a big game. Normally they will tell you form doesn't really matter. Maybe yes, but you're coming into a game that Hearts of Folk would think on paper they've got players who are more experienced in the fixture that Kotoko have got. Let's not forget, when you see Kotoko's 11, and most of the more important players this season are players who have never played in that fixture before. But at the moment, some of the most important players to Hearts of Folk are players who were there last season. So you think experience-wise, they would know what it means to come into this fixture. But the form in which Kotoko are in at the moment is just superb. They're just solid in midfield, and they've got a striker who is lethal in the two. So really, I think Kotoko are favourites.
Since I've mentioned Asante Kotoko with Hearts of Folk in the game coming this weekend, let me touch on that one. I think it will be one game that it will be very interesting because the two teams carry lots of talent. You can talk about Hearts of Folk goalkeeper Richard Atta, who's been good. I mean, he had a Black Stars collar. He was part of the AFCON 2021 Ghana squad. You can talk about the Salim Adams, Salifu Ibrahim, Gladson Awako, Kofi Koji, who have 7 goals with the club. James Sewono. These are good players for Hearts of Folk. On the part of Asante Kotoko, I mean, you can mention them. Isaac Opon is now, getting fit, but he will not be eligible for this game. But you can talk about Mudasiru Salifu, Agadas, that's Richard Guedu. You can talk about
there's this saying that the super clash doesn't follow form guide, and so no matter how formidable or how strong Kotoko is, Hearts of Folk could beat them at Accra Sports Stadium. And so let's see what happens. But on paper, looking at the depth in squad of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and the struggles Hearts of Folk is going through, as in not being consistent with results, losing certain points they're not expected to lose and all that. I think Kotoko looks strong. They are clear favourites for that game on Sunday. But hey, like I said earlier on, this is a game that doesn't follow any form guide. So many things come to play, spiritually, physically. You can't take away the spirituality of these kind of games, and they will all come to play. And whoever does things better will carry the day. Well, no, Richard Atta is back in post. Dalal Ibrahim is doing so well. In the middle of the pack, their last game against RTU, Hearts of Folk, the middle wasn't bad at all. Sule Ali Muntari in the frame and all that. We are hoping for a wonderful game on Sunday. We just hope the referees do their job well, the players also do their job well, and I just hope the organizers of our league see this as an event than just a game. So we add other things to make it interesting. This is the biggest fixture in our league, and so we are hoping for something better on Sunday on the field of play, off the field of play, and in terms of the whole organization. I just wish everyone good luck, and this is our league. This is how bring back a love song. I just love the Ghanaian Premier League.
Now, on Hearts of Folk against Asante Kotoko at Accra Sports, you look at records. In the last 6 games of both clubs, you could clearly tell that Kumasi Asante Kotoko is on form. They've lost just 1 game and drawn 1 and won 3 games. Hearts of Folk have won 3 games and also lost 2 games and drawn 1. It should let you know that in terms of form, Kumasi Asante Kotoko is very, very on top. Hearts of Folk have now accumulated most points. That doesn't make them too strong. For me, I think Hartlepool would need to work extra harder, and this game on Sunday is a decider for both Hartlepool and Kotoko. Kotoko wins this game and they are going to clinch the league trophy. I think winning this game means that they should be able to win the 2021-2022 league season. Hartlepool winning this game would also boost their confidence of also climbing on top of the league and also battling for the league title with Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So I call this fixture a decider, and Dr. Prosper Natogum taking over Kotoko this season can also do magic, because Samobudi took over Hartlepool in week 17 last year and was able to clinch the league trophy. So it means that Doctor can also take a team, do preseason, and then also win the Ghana Premier League, because the record is already clear. If a coach can pick a team and play about 18 games and win the league title, then of course someone can also play the 34 games and also clinch the league trophy. So the Sunday game is a decider.
Hartlepool and Kotoko, what a big game. It's a big game. Normally they will tell you.
This is our own.
Okay, so this is a fixture we are talking about, that outstanding fixture for match day 7. It is Accra Hartlepool against Kumasi Asante Kotoko here at the Accra Sports Stadium. And some interesting messages I would want to run through. Clearly, I can run through all. But Emmanuel Tago Sterling says that we are sending Penalty FC back to default settings. And from his dressing, clearly he is a phobian. And then there's another one here. Osofo Edem says that the Funeral Club people will feel the heat from the likes of Muntari, Awako, and the rest. And Michael comes back to counter and says that if you like, bring the flowers. You will tell us whether we are at a funeral service or we are playing football. And so Fifi says that, okay, Penalty FC will not survive this Sunday. We are setting confusion in their team from that Sunday. And Adote says that Container FC will cry again. Phobia. Kotoko went to a certain Juju man. Okay, so it has started. But this is a fixture on Sunday at 3 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. It's Accra Hartlepool against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. We are leaving. I'm told that the tickets are at some point available. In just a minute, if you can wrap it up for us and then add your prediction if you are bold enough.
Unfortunately for us, it's only 9,000 tickets that was printed. You can imagine, because mostly Kotoko has matches. We print around 30,000, 25, 20 to 30. So you can imagine 9,000 people fighting for these tickets. The ticket will be out tomorrow. Okay. And you can get some at the Accra Sports Stadium. They will sell some at the Accra Secretariat. And I think Bachuna Tota, Nima Golf Filling Station, and also the golf filling station at
I think I saw some at someone as well.
About, they will sell. So it will be out there.
But any predictions?
I don't predict Kotoko as matches. I know we win.
Okay.
I know we win.
But you don't know the goal margin as well?
I know we win. You see, let me tell you something. Kotoko has matches. If somebody tell you today that this will be the goals in the match, he doesn't. Maybe he's God. He's only God who will know.
Ajwa,
I want the referee to give a fair judgment of the game. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. If it's offside, it's offside. Be strong, be bold, give it out over there. We don't want any confusion.
Certainly he'll be intimidated.
Of course.
By the crowd. So you should stand by the crowd. Yeah. It's a win for Kotoko. It's a win.
Scoreline.
It's a win for Kotoko.
Okay, I don't know what these two are doing, but they say it's a win for Kotoko. For some of us, we just want to enjoy that atmosphere. I tell you what, that 2-3 hours before the game is the game before the game. And so if we are nowhere, if we are not too far from the capital, please, on Sunday, try as much as possible to be a part of the first 25% that gets into the Accra Sports Stadium. And trust me, you are going to enjoy football to the fullest, because I know those two are going to give us something we can talk about for the rest of the year. My name is Abigail Senasusu. I'm happy I was able to come your way with this edition. Thank you to my guests. Unfortunately, we were unable to touch on women's football. We'll do that next week when we join you again. But this has been an interesting episode, and so enjoy some of our games, enjoy some of the Women's League as well if you can. And then on Sunday, let's meet at the Accra Sports Stadium and enjoy our own version of the Classico. Thank you for being a part of this episode.
This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own, let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. And the what dog can want, and DJ can want, the Rishim want, and the what dog can want. Daniji Kanwa, Daddy, Rishimwa, Ebeye,